Yay, good morning, good morning. Here we are again, the best day of the week. And so we connect, right? It is Wednesday, baby, hump day. And I don't think I can say it enough. It doesn't matter how we started the week, the end of the week is coming and we made it to the middle. We just need to figure a way to get over the hump. So it's always fun. It's always an honor to be able to hang out with you, shoot the breeze, share some ideas. As always, encourage you to bring a friend, man. Tell a friend, bring a friend, and let's hang out and have dialogue every week. This time, this week, I want to talk about diversity. I'm spend some time speaking about diversity. Um, I think when we hear the word diversity, morning family. Um, the Marine himself, thank you for joining. When we hear the word diversity, friends, I think a lot of people immediately think in terms of race and ethnicity. But I've come to realize that it encompasses so much more, right? I look at our 1988 bobsled team, for example, and people would see four black guys from Jamaica and think we were a pretty monolithic group. It does look like that from the outset, but look at this. So two of the guys were from the middle class. One was from the country. I was the ghetto kid. Three of us were soldiers. One was a civilian. And in that group of soldiers, two were officers. One was a private. And then there were still other differences in terms of ranks and roles. So a fairly diverse group, especially in the Jamaican context, right? From the outside, they think it's monolithic. From the inside, we know that we're pretty diverse. As an athlete, I tend to look at a lot of things from the perspective of sports. And so, if you imagine you could fly over an Olympic Games, right? The Summer Olympics, 11,000 people or thereabouts, 5,000 people for the Winter Olympics. And you're looking down from 30,000 feet, what would you see? You would see, all kinds of people, black, brown, pink, yellow, tall, short, fat, skinny, muscular, not so muscular. Yeah, people from different races and ethnicities and countries, obviously. But if you were to kind of zoom in a little tighter, if you're able to, pull away the curtains and peek into their lives, man, what would you see then? You would see people with different experiences and interests and political views and religious persuasions and sexual orientation and career or professional pursuits. You see all of that. But what you'd also see is all of them coming together to form what one call this rich tapestry. That is a human race, and competing and giving off their best. And all of us who are not at the Olympics are tuned in to watch this greatest show on earth and to take shared joy and pride and awe, quite frankly, in human athletic performance. And I think this is, when I think about sports in general, it really is about the performance. It's about winning. When you cut away all the fat, so to speak, it is about winning, right? And if you can run faster, jump higher, defend better than the other guy or girl, regardless of what you look like, you're the person who is going to make the team better, and so you're the person who gets on the team. And so it's one of those things that I really wish the corporate world would truly adopt from sports, right? Diversity. And diversity, not for diversity's sake, but because it's going to make you better, right? In sports, it's about, hey, who is going to give us the best chance to win? I've discovered that diversity is kind of in two very broad, basic categories, right? You have what they would call the diversity of expertise. So, if you're going to erect a building, right, you would need a land surveyor, you need an architect, you need um, a builder, you need carpenters and plumbers and electricians and and all roofers. You think of it, think of all, right? All these different people with different expertise collaborating to achieve a particular goal, right? Fulfill a vision, building this building. Um, so that's the diversity of expertise, and I think the thing that encroaches on that, I believe, which is a other aspect of diversity, broad area of diversity, would be the social diversity, race, ethnicity, gender, sexual orientation, political persuasion, religious beliefs, all of that, right? Um, Obviously, when you bring that mix together in a group, yeah, it can cause some discomfort. There can be some challenging interactions, as it were, lack of trust, um, you know, greater perceived interpersonal conflict, lower communication. All of those things are part and parcel of a diverse environment. But the upside is amazing as well, because it allows you to innovate and become more creative. It enhances the creativity, um, encourages, I would say, the search for new or novel solutions to sometimes old problems. Um, end up with better decision making and leads to better products and services, which obviously is what you want. Kind of like the team wants to win the game, win the match, win the race. As a business, you want to have an improved bottom line. That's how you win. Now the question is, how do we, me, you, how do all of us contribute to a diverse marketplace? How do we do that? Well, I would say for those of us who find ourselves in the minority, however you define minority, is it your race? Is it because you're black or you're a woman, or you belong to the LGBTQ community, or whatever it is? I think we have a responsibility, right, to shun the labels that society is apt to place on us, because we know that is a fact, right? Society is going to place these labels on us. And unfortunately, too many of us embrace those labels, and all the restrictive connotations that come with those labels. We embrace them and we forget that human potential is unlimited. In fact, your potential is unlimited. And so again, it comes on to you taking responsibility for what it is that you could possibly accomplish in your lives, right? You kind of have to release the brakes and step out of the box, right? Shed those labels and the connotations that they bring. And yes, step out of the box and go pursue your highest expectations. Because if you're playing small, if you're going, oh, I'm a woman, or I'm a black guy, or I'm a black woman, whatever it is, I'm Asian, I can't play in this game, so to speak, then you are limiting your potential. You're robbing a team, a company, an organization of the tremendous value that you could add, because you have limited yourself, right? So you have that responsibility. You can't expect, in the same way that nobody's going to pick you on a team just because you're a black guy, right? In sports. No, you have to show that you can run, man, right? You have to show that you can play the sport. Nobody's going to pick you. HR is not going to select you on their team just because they're trying to make up number. You need to be able to perform. Now, what if you are, among the minority group? How do you support? How do you enhance diversity? Well, let me ask you. Wouldn't you want the best, if this was sports, if this is a basketball team, wouldn't you want the best person on your team? Would you care if they you have to choose between a black guy and a white guy, and the white guy was a better shooter. The white guy was a better ball handler. Wouldn't you want that guy on your team, right? So it's the same thing in the workplace, right? If you knew that your bonus, your paycheck, I don't know, your medical benefit, if you knew that some benefit that would be accrued to you, that would be coming to you, was dependent on some extent to someone else, right? And they had to fill this critical role. Would you care? Would you care who they selected? If, i.e., would you care that they were from the minority, however you define the minority? Or would you want the best person? I'm sure you'd want to select the best and the brightest person to be on your team, right? That's how it works. And again, to go back to the individual, if you were the person being hired, would you care? If you're the only black guy or black girl or the only trans person on the team, you're getting a chance to show what you can do. You're getting a chance to demonstrate your creative freedom and grow and develop as a person. Would you care? I think not. All of us, again, have a role, have a choice to make in terms of promoting diversity across all fields. And so let us not shirk from that, because it's what you see out in the world. And again, I just can't, I guess, sing enough praises about the Olympics and the experience there and what you see at the Olympic Games in particular, but in sports in general, right? So let's talk about some of the other benefits. I think I alluded to some of them, right? Diversity increases creativity. Diversity increases creativity, right? When you have all these different people from different perspectives coming together to share their ideas, to talk about their experiences, and because of those experiences and those perspectives, you're able to look at a situation, a challenge, a problem through a different lens, one that you probably would not have looked at it. Then voila, you come up with new ideas, right? There's actually studies that have been done, and I'm not going to necessarily cite who did them, but they did some studies where they discovered that two persons who look alike, let's say, they're from the same group, are less likely to challenge each other's perspective, as opposed to, two persons from different groups. When you have people from different groups, they're more likely to listen and hence learn something new, right? They'll work harder to prepare for that conversation, let's say, and hence come up with new novel ideas. So diversity increases creativity, it increases productivity. Again, if you go back to the diversity of expertise, right? There's a kind of a reason why we went from the old model where old economic model where everybody did everything everybody to a model where people were specialized, right? You have a doctor, you have a lawyer, you have an Indian chief. I'm not sure if I'm supposed to say that in today's politically correct environment, but you know what I mean, right? People specialize, and so when you have a diverse workforce, not just in terms of expertise, but again, experience and perspective, it really increases productivity, because again, you increase in the innovation and the creativity that produces better products, better services that better service your clients, which obviously increases the company's bottom line. The company wins. And on that note, it increases the marketing opportunities. It's so much easier to be able to. We live in a global village, right? There's this thing called globalization, and because of technology, the world has shrunk, and so it's so much easier today to get your products and services in markets that you would not have access to 20, 30 years ago. And the way to effectively access those markets would be to have people on your team who understand the nuances of those markets, right? Make sense? Capiche? Who says that? But so that makes sense to me. I hopefully it makes sense to you. And so when you have a diverse team, you're able to connect effectively with those markets as well. And yes, perhaps finally, it really gives your team, your company, your organization a great reputation. They're seen as a place that's inclusive, a place that values performance over perception, values performance, values the individual over the labels that society might want to attribute to that person. And so you're able to create a culture that attracts the best and the brightest, which is what everybody wants. And if you're attracting the best and the brightest, chances are you're going to be leading in your industry. So yeah, wanted to share those thoughts on diversity and how important it is, the fact that all of us benefit. It doesn't come without its issues, because welcome to life. I'm not saying that when you have a diverse team, you get to sing Kumbaya, hold hands around a campfire and sing Kumbaya. No, it has its challenges, but I think the benefits far outweigh the disadvantages. So yeah, as we kind of continue to live in this global economy, one that is shrinking thanks to technology, in order to thrive, not just survive, but thrive in this increasingly competitive market environment, companies have to, I think, make it a priority. Organizations need to make it a priority. Diversity, taking in, accepting, embracing people from just very diverse backgrounds, so that they can bring their own unique perspectives and experiences to help find solutions to the challenges that everybody else is facing. Out of many, one. That's how it works, right? Many hands make light work. And it's not just about teamwork. It's about, again, having those different perspectives to help you to arrive at better solutions. All right, so those are the thoughts I wanted to share with you this week. Always wonderful to be able to connect. Don't forget, hey, to join me next week, same time, same place. Bring a friend, man, and check me out on YouTube as well, youtube.com/keeponpushing. Always subscribe, leave a comment, and let's continue the conversation there. Until we connect next week, my friends, yeah, man, you know what you should do. Keep on pushing.